I am CPO McCrae, security here at the Bartow Courthouse. This is the east entrance into the courthouse. We have certain procedures that must be used in order to enter this facility. All of the personnel that enter here are badged. They have a picture type ID. Attorneys will come in with a red picture type ID. The only way in through this entrance is with the picture type ID. If you do not have that, you have an option to leave the building or go around and come in the main entrance where you will be able to enter with or without the picture ID.
I'm late. All right, I'm late. I got to get to a hearing.
Sir, we need your ID, your picture ID.
Okay, well, let's see here. Here's my
Are you an attorney?
Florida bar card. Yes,
Are you
I
an
am.
attorney?
I'm a lawyer.
We need the red bar card for Polk County.
Well, look,
do you
here's
have
my
that?
driver's license.
Do you
here's
have?
my business
No,
card.
sir. Do you have the red bar?
Charlie, I've seen you a
If you
thousand
don't,
times before.
sir, that doesn't matter. If you don't have that, you'll have to exit the building and come around, come in through the
Charlie,
front.
I am late for a hearing with Judge Spoto, and it's going to be you that's going to get in trouble, not me. If
Sir,
I'm late.
you're wasting
You gotta let me
you're
in.
wasting your time.
Fine.
Yeah, I've got this hearing on this this motion on this case, and I've got to get it done quick. The client's just yelling and screaming at me. I know it's going to take an hour, and it's with Spoto, and boy, he's really slow and doesn't move very fast, and I just don't know when I can get an hour in with him. I tell you what I'll do. If I can't get that done, I'll ask for 15 minutes.
Judge Spoto's office.
Hey, Susan, it's Rusty. How are you?
Hey, Rustolia.
Yeah, I've got this big hearing on this Charles Manson case, and I'm going to need about an hour for a motion that I filed with you.
Okay, well, let me see what I can do for you. It's going to be in January.
What? You've got to be kidding me! November, January? No, Susan, come on, it's Rusty. You can get me something faster, please, please.
That's it. That's the best I can do for you. I know. I love you, Rustolian, but it's going to be like the first one I have available is Friday, January the 22nd.
You don't have an hour. It's going to take until January. Well, okay, 15 minutes.
Okay, let's see what I can do for you. 15 minutes? How about Monday, December the 21st at 8:30 or 1:15?
Still? Well, listen, let's just take it. 15 minutes, State versus Manson, case number CF087156, and I'll send you a copy of the motion and notice.
Okay, got you down. Bye.
Well, maybe we'll try to get away with it, but boy, I know that the state's just going to go crazy when I try to argue for on a 15-minute motion with an hour. Wow.
And Judge, now for my 14th point on this Manson case.
No, Judge, I'm sorry.
Court.
Mr. Franklin, if you could hold a minute. Judge, I understand Mr. Franklin wanted to get a 15-minute hearing so he could appear by phone from Gainesville. But he's on his 14th point, his 10th case, 20 minutes have gone by, and I have yet to have an opportunity to present any of my argument. I have got a hearing before Judge Curry in 5 minutes. I need to get going.
I agree, Mr. Franklin. I also have another hearing that the attorneys and parties are waiting outside and have been waiting, and if we continue to be late, everyone's going to be late all day long. I don't like that. And what you need to do is reschedule this hearing and schedule it for a period of time that you know you can complete it, including any response by the other party, because you always have to consider that the other party probably is not going to sit there silent and not make any response to your argument. So you need to factor that in, and if necessary, you need to call the other attorney and see if they need more time.
When you submit a proposed order for the judge to sign, always make sure to provide enough copies for conforming for all the parties involved. My job is not to make copies of your order.
Kate!
Yes, sir.
I know it's 4:45. Did you get the proposed order I emailed you for Roddenberry?
Yes, sir, I did.
Can you have somebody run that quickly down to Lisa and get him to sign it?
I can, but it's 4:45 and there's 6 parties. We need envelopes, copies, and everything.
Now, don't worry about that. Lisa doesn't do anything over there. She's got more than enough time to make envelopes, copies, everything. Just get the order, have it couriered over to the courthouse, and call Lisa, let her know you're coming with it, and we'll let her take care of it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't believe, once again, they didn't provide enough copies of their order. I am not Kinko's.
If you have hearings in different courtrooms at the same time, please inform the bailiff, let them know where you're going to be. That way we can notify the other bailiffs and find you and get you to the proper courtroom at the proper time. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I've got pretrial with Spoto today, but I've also got them with Yancey and Cowden. So I'm going to be either in Judge Cowden's courtroom or Judge Yancey's courtroom. Would you mind, when my case is called, would you mind giving me a call on the radio and they'll send me right down?
Not a problem.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, Judge Spoto's not on the bench yet. He's always late. Well, listen, I got like 17 other places to be. I don't know where I'm going to be, but you can find me. I'll be around. I'll be around. See you.
Where is Mr. Franklin? Has anyone seen him? Find him now. Bring him to me.
Hey guys, what's up?
Rush,
Coffee court. Coffee court.
wait a minute. Don't you have something with Spoto right now?
It's Spoto. He's always late. I figured I'd come down here, take a break from my busy morning, have a cup of coffee, and talk about how the football game. How about those Knowles? How about those Gators, huh? Great times, right?
Are you sure you wanted to test his temper?
It's Spoto. He doesn't care. Nobody ever cares about him. Judge, for my next witness, I am going to be calling Mr. Carmichael, but before I get him up there, I have these exhibits that I need to have marked for identification. So, Madam Clerk, if you start marking these, I know they're in a little bit of a disheveled order, but let me use these paper. You got any paper clips? I can figure out something here. But wait. Oh, here's a good place to start. This one I know is everything. I've got all tabs. So this will be composite exhibit number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This goes together. Judge, I'm sorry to keep that jury waiting, but you know we'll work on it. Number 7.
Mr. Franklin, it would be helpful if in the future, when you are going to have exhibits, if you would have them pre-marked by the clerk before court begins.
Well, Judge, I didn't realize that Carmichael was going to have to go over all these documents that I'd have to have him look at, but I'll do better next time, Judge. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk. When dealing with the clerks on a case that involves multiple files, it's always a good idea before the case is called to check with them to make sure that all the files are present in the courtroom. Madam Clerk, before we get started on this Carmichael case, do you have all 17 cases that I have on the docket?
No, sir, I have one.
All right, well, here's the plea form. Would you mind? I'm sorry, I thought that everything was all done. Can we just go ahead and call and get all those other files in before Judge Spoto starts
sir.
taking the plea?
Not a problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
State of Florida versus David Carmichael, impersonating an actor.
Judge, good afternoon. Rusty Franklin on behalf of Mr. Carmichael, and we have a plea form in this case. There are 17 cases that we have here on the plea agreement.
Franklin, I have one file.
Well,
Did you make the clerk aware of the fact that you had these other cases?
Well, most of the other files, the other 16, are a combination of misdemeanors and violations of probation. And when my office called to set the hearing, I thought my secretary was supposed to get that done, but I guess it didn't happen. So, but the clerk can just do stamp outs. We don't need those files, do we?
Well, I think we are going to need the files. It would certainly the clerk can do snap outs on rare occasions, but with 16 extra files, you want to be able to have them there. Plus, I have to be able to find a factual basis. Is there some way you could make your client a little bit more presentable for this?
David, tuck your shirt tail in. You could look a little better. There you go. There you go. All right, Judge. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just recall the case. We'll get with the clerk and get it all done.
All right.
Hello, my name's Tony Godinez, and I'm the interpreter coordinator for the 10th Judicial Circuit, Polk, Hardy, and Highlands. Want to give you some information about interpreters. And one of my pet peeves is when people call us translators. Translation is the translation of documents, written documents, and interpretation is spoken word. The next thing that I want to notify you of is that if you have an interpreter case that needs sign language or exotic interpreter needs, you must notify our office with 2 weeks notice. And by exotic, I mean Bengali, Chinese, Arabic, Malayalam, you name it. Then the other thing that I want to let you know is that if you have a case where there's a sound recording, the interpreter's office is not allowed to interpret or translate any of that in a trial or hearing. It is also important, and I emphasize, very important that you give us notice if you have a jury trial or a hearing that is going to last more than 1 hour, and you can contact our office at 863-534-7700.
Private attorney pre-trial conferences. Hopefully everybody's ready to go here. I see over there, Mr. Bailey, a minute or two, your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
All right, go right ahead.
Thank
Talk to
you.
your client over there.
Mr. Kermit Lafrog? Kermit Lafrog. Are you Mr. Lafrog?
Oh, M.L. Lafrog.
Kermit?
M.L. Lafrog.
Nice to meet you. Stephen Bates.
Lafrog.
Yes, your family's hired me. Apparently you've been charged with a pretty serious crime here. It's okay, well, this crime is punishable by the death penalty. And luckily for you, your family's hired me. We've worked out a good plea for you to plead a life. You're going to be pleading to the charge of possession of an undersized bass. I got the other charges dropped, and you're going to be pleading for a life sentence. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I've got a plea form here that goes over all the details. Possession of an undersized bass. You're going to plead guilty or no contest. It's your choice for a life sentence. Do you understand what I'm talking about? This involved a fish. The bass is a fish. Do you fish? Yes, the fish. This is when the cops came and the fish. You understand what I'm talking about?
Fish.
And you're going to plead a life. Do you understand that? Life. Do you like life, right? Not death.
Life.
That's right, life.
Life.
I think you understand
Fish.
what's going on. Okay. Judge, I think we're ready to call the case. This is the state of Florida v. Kermit Lafrog, CF 15-1234. I'm approaching, and my client can approach as well. Mr. Lafrog.
Lafrog.
Come with me.
All right, let's see here. Mr. Lafrog.
Lafrog.
Lafrog. Mr. Lafrog, you've been charged with possession of an undersized bass. You understand the facts that give rise to these charges, sir?
Judge, one moment. We've been over the plea form. He is just signing it. May I approach, Your Honor?
You can come up with that plea form. Thank you, Mr. Bates. All right, let me see. All right. Mr. Lafrog.
M.L. Lafrog.
Mr. Lafrog, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea? Is this it? Huh? Is this it? Yes or no? Yes?
You're going to plead.
All right, Mr. Lafrog, it's my understanding that in exchange for your guilty plea, you'll be receiving life sentence. Is that your understanding?
Life.
Fish. What's the state attorney say about this?
Your Honor, it's the state's position that at this time Mr. Kermit Lafrog does not know what's going on here. He's simply just going along and nodding with the court, and I don't think that he understands. The state's not comfortable proceeding at this time, Your Honor.
Well, Judge, hold on there. I've explained the plea to Mr. Lafroge this morning. I told him about the charges. He seemed to understand exactly what this was about, the fish, and he knows he's pleading to life.
Wait a minute, counsel. Has Mr. Lafrog required an interpreter before?
Judge, he may have. I'm not quite sure. He may have.
Well, then why isn't one here? Why didn't you call this case and tell the court the plea's not ready if it isn't? You're just wasting my time here today.
Well, Judge, this is just a simple plea. He seems to know exactly what he's doing, and you know how long it takes for those translators to get up here. They're probably down in coffee court. They take forever.
All right. I'm going to call the interpreter now. I know the interpreter is usually late, but let's go ahead and see if we can get her here some point and quickly. I didn't get this done.
M.L. Lafrog.
Emmett the Frog.
Emmett Lefroy.
Emmett the Frog.
Look, the defendant's present with counsel. Counsel for the state's present, interpreter's present. Let's get this plea over with. Mr. LaFrog, you've been charged with crime possession of undersized bass. You understand the facts that give rise to these charges?
Fish. You remember the fish?
Fish.
Look at
Life.
me, Mr. LaFrog, look at me. Is this your signature?
Lefroy.
at the bottom?
Emmett Lefroy.
Is this your signature at the bottom of this plea agreement, Mr. LaFrog? Is that it?
Leaf. Life.
Yes or
Life.
no? Yes? Oh.
Life. Fish.
I'm going to take that as a yes for the record. Mr. LaFrog, it's my understanding that in exchange for your guilty plea, you'll be receiving a life sentence. Is that your understanding?
Your Honor, at this point, the state still is not comfortable proceeding with this plea. I speak Spanish, the interpreter is translating into Spanish, and Mr. LaFrog clearly doesn't speak Spanish. I don't think he still knows what's happening.
Ms. Godinez, does this defendant speak Spanish? Ms. Godinez? Well then, why have we been continuing with this plea? Ms. Godinez, why haven't you spoken up and said anything?
Your Honor, it is the position of the interpreter that we cannot interpose our...
I just want to know what language does Mr. LaFrog speak?
Emmett Lefroy.
Mr. Bates, what is the bottom line here?
Your Honor, my client seems to understand obviously what's going on. He understands this involves the fish. He knows he's getting life. Let's just move forward with the plea.
You have made a mess of this record. We'll not conduct this plea at this time. You should have arranged for your client to have an interpreter for whatever language he speaks before court today. Frankly, I'm tired of this. Court's adjourned and I'm leaving.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll get it reset.
Mr. Bates.
Yes. Yes.
Let me just say this to you. You know, you have to give us notice for these cases. Do you even know what language Mr. LaFrog speaks?
We'll find out and we'll get it reset and
well,
give you proper notice.
Give me notice. Thank you.
You're welcome.